Hello, thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Transfer Talk, and this one's live because obviously it's transfer deadline day tomorrow at 11 p.m. Few stories we're going to discuss. Joining me are my usual cohorts. We'll start off, Mr. Andy Miles. How are you, sir?
You're not bad, mate. Not bad. Having a nice, relaxing day, ready for the long day ahead of tomorrow, as Jim White would say.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, I think. My hat's off to you, mate, for volunteering to do this. And obviously, for anyone wondering what it's all about, why don't you just tell the people watching briefly what's going on tomorrow?
Yeah, so obviously I said on deadline day I want to raise some money for Isla. I know we've gone a bit quiet. Well, not a bit quiet because obviously I know people are still donating, but I thought why not do transfer deadline day from a pub? What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed. All those bottles of alcohol, and you know, all his staff to do your bidding for you.
Exactly. Yeah, no, so exactly. So all day tomorrow from 8 a.m. live until the window shuts. So it'll probably be midnight because obviously some other deals can go through the line past 11 o'clock. We will be live on Forge Remind all day, giving you all the transfer news as it happens.
And of course, that's what it's all about, really. I mean, obviously the transfers are important and all the rest of it, but that's the really important thing that we're going to be, that's the real underlying message of it, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, no, exactly. So that's what we're going to be done. Me and Duke were talking on Saturday while we was having a few bevies, of course. What's the best way to do it? Because obviously we'd like other people to come and interact and obviously come and have your say. If a signing comes in, we will. But instead of putting it in the chat and everyone being bombarded and waiting in the queue, if you wouldn't mind, just we'll put it across the bottom, either DM Forge Talk or our personal Twitter accounts, and then we'll send you the link because we don't want, obviously the chat might be going really quick for us to miss anything. So that'll be the way. So if you want to come on, even if you know you want to come on tomorrow at a certain time, give us a DM now and we can get you booked in.
All good. And of course, sadly, tomorrow's my first day back at work, so I probably won't be getting involved until the evening time. But to be honest, there's probably people watching this that are thinking there's nothing unfortunate about that, Gatesy. We're actually quite comfortable with that. So, and that's fine. That's fine. I can't please everyone, but anyway.
And what does everyone think of my backdrop now?
Oh, hello. You've got a volunteer, Milesy.
Yeah.
Luke,
cheers, Luke.
Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that greatly. Thank you.
Yeah. And what does everyone think of the backdrop?
I like it. Brilliant.
I think this should be your permanent place now, Milesy. I've got to say, I think.
Well, it is 3 footsteps away from the bar as well. So what?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, mate. I mean, you might have to go back to your room. All right. So moving on, we've also got West Ham online. How about yourself?
Yeah. I'm doing very well. I've looked a lot into this transfer deadline day, and obviously the window's about to close. So yesterday I done a report on Vlasic where I studied him. I'm going to try my best. I spoke to everyone about this a couple of weeks ago to get onto the stream at some point tomorrow, which hopefully can occur. But obviously I'm not legally, well, I'm not 18, I'm 17, so I'll be stuffing my face with J2Os if I am on the stream. But yeah, I'm excited for deadline day.
Actually, to interrupt you, if you're having a meal, you're allowed to have an alcoholic drink, and Gatesy will correct you with that.
I'll order a meal.
Okay. Order a carvery.
A low to medium strength alcoholic beverage with a meal. I think you're allowed to from the age of 14.
Oh, right, there we go.
You've been missing out for a couple of years, mate.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
When he goes out now with his family, he'll be like, "Yeah, no, you're not. Yes, I am."
Brilliant.
My family are quite relaxed about that. So, I've got I've got about 3 months till I'm 18. So hopefully I'll be down there a lot more then. But as I say, I'm excited for deadline day. Hopefully a lot of money will be raised, and I'm hopeful.
All good. And completing the quartet that we have assembled here, Jazz, how are you, sir?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Yeah, just recovering from the wife's birthday party Saturday, where we nearly broke the record for the bar bill, the guy said. I think there was a wedding. Their bar bill was higher than us because you were second. And we had a good laugh. Yeah, it was a good day. Had some family members who stayed overnight with us. So we're walking around like zombies yesterday. And yeah, back to normality nearly, back to work tomorrow. And yeah, just I love the transfer window. It's one of my favourite times of the year. And look forward to tomorrow and see what news comes out today, really. And I was just thinking about... was it? Oh God, I forgot now. I'll come to it later in a minute. There's something I was reading the other day. I'll come back.
Rum?
No.
Probably involved rum. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me, knowing you. Okay, right. So, two things that we're going to discuss amongst us. But obviously, if you guys in the live chat, if there's anything that you want to sort of, bring up as a topic of conversation, separate to the two players that we're intending to talk about here, please feel free. If we can, I can't promise we're going to get to everyone's comments because there's probably not enough time that I can devote to this, in all honesty, but what we can discuss, we'll endeavor to do so please feel free. Okay, so the first one. Now, there's been an awful lot of talk about this deal. I've got a article here from Tribal Football to discuss. West Ham expected to announce deal for CSKA Moscow star Vlasic on Monday. It says here we are close to securing a deal for Vlasic. Says that we're set to announce the arrival. Says here £21 million, but I've heard a few different figures, but that's as per the Daily Mail. Says here that David Moyes sees Vlasic as his missing piece of the jigsaw in attack. It says if we can finalise the agreement for the 23-year-old signature, it would likely lead them to drop their interest in Manchester United's Jesse Lingard, who's the second player we're going to discuss in this piece. Now, that's in contrast to other pieces that I've read, which has actually said something to the contrary, where we're going to sign them both. It goes on to say that United's asking price and West Ham's reluctance to pay big money for a player who is out of contract at the end of the season is likely to mean that the transfer for Lingard is unlikely to happen. But as I say, that is at direct odds with other things that I've heard, which it says that it's the intention of Moyes to actually bring them both through the door. So I'll start with you, Jazz. Your thoughts. I mean, what do you know about Nikola Vlasic? And what sort of what are your thoughts?
I didn't know too much about him, but then I did some research yesterday, and I think it'd be a really good signing. I think he's good age, he's hardworking, he's powerful, and he's exactly what we needed from the bench on Saturday. It seems someone that can open up defences. He's got a lot of skills in him. He can play up front on his own, or certainly play in that 3 when we do the 4-2-3-1. So I think it's a really good signing, and it fits the way we're working, and it'll be a good piece to add and provide competition to what we've got at the moment, really. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that, to be honest, yeah. Because I think AC Milan were linked with him. So I think, and then in the Euros, he did really well. He's a regular for his country. Yeah, really, really happy with that. I think he'll fit just the way we play, mate, yeah.
Yeah. How about yourself, West Ham Online? Because I know you said a little bit earlier that you've been doing a little bit of genning up on Vlasic and whatever else. I take it you've probably got a few things that you want to bring to the table on him.
Yeah. I've done a little bit of reading into him for a couple of hours yesterday because I made a post and a report about it. But I can't say I've watched him a total lot. I've probably only watched him about 5 times in my life. Twice being at Everton where he was younger then, and I think he only played 12 games for the club. I watched him in the Euros for Croatia, and then I've watched one CSKA Moscow game where he in fact was actually quite good, but then again the Russian league is about as good as my Sunday league team. I think it's a transfer that could go 2 ways. Obviously he's not proven himself in the top league yet, which although some people say isn't a good enough argument, I believe that if it will take him some time to adjust personally. I think it's going to be a bit like the Ben Rama situation.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, I was saying this yesterday actually, his strength isn't tackling or any defensive contribution, yet Moyes is such a big fan of him, which surely means that going forward, Moyes just thinks he's brilliant, because we all know that Moyes wants his attackers to be defensive as well as offensive. For CSKA Moscow, he's been brilliant. He produces double figures in goals and around 7 assists year in, year out. He also got the Russian Premier League 2020 Player of the Year, which, yes, as I was saying, there's not a lot of good players over there, but to win Player of the Year, you still got to be doing something right. I also read about who he would be compared to, the sort of players he plays like. And by no means am I saying he's at this player's level before anyone says that, but I've read that he plays a little bit like Jack Grealish. He loves to draw in players. He's a dribbler. He's very, very good on the ball, and his passing is also very good. And his finishing is actually quite good as well. If you watch all his goals for CSKA in Moscow, he tends to just power them. He's not a precise player in terms of his finishing. He just puts a lot of power behind it. He also takes penalties, which for me isn't a big attribute. You know, I think Ben Rama should be on penalties, but it's obviously helpful. And yeah, he just seems like a player at age 23 that would be a good addition to the team. 6 goals in 26 games for Croatia as well, and he performed very well in the Euros. So yeah, I think it could go one or two ways, but I've heard a lot of prices, and I think for around 30 million with the bonuses, it's 8 million euros bonuses, but I think 3 or 4 million is Champions League qualification, winning the Europa League, and then it's goal bonuses. But for the price, I feel like it could either be brilliant or a complete flop.
Yeah, I don't think there's any in between, is there? I mean,
No.
The thing that concerns me, and I'll bring this to you as well, Andy. Vlasic has obviously been in the Premier League before with Everton, and it didn't quite work out for him there. So I know obviously that was different team, different situation, and obviously he's that much older now. I think that was 3-4 years ago, something like that, when he first walked through.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so he was a kid. He's obviously gained that little bit more experience. Are you concerned? Do you think that that's something that you think is a hell of a risk, or?
Before I answer that, I saw Robert's question with regards to transfers. Yeah, it will be all day. It's not just West Ham. If we don't make any signing, it'll be very boring activity. So no, we'll be covering. We'll be covering all transfers. So literally, even I'm gonna be doing all the hashtags like Premier League and stuff. You never know. Even some non-West Ham fans, if they see the stream, yeah, even if they see some stream. So yeah, we'll be covering them all. So I'll do. I'm happy and I'm not happy with regards to this transfer, because I think we've already got a few like Fornals and Ben Rama, but we do need strength in depth. Do I think he'll be a success? I think he's been bought for Europa League personally, because he's played in Europe before, obviously with CSKA, so he knows the. Everyone thinks that, well, it's not a Mickey Mouse League compared to the Champions League, but it's still European football. Obviously, the referees are different. You get away with less, or you get away with more, depending what country you play in. Obviously, adjusting the travelling, going to, because Russia's no slap either. Do you know what I mean? So he's used to the travelling around. Everyone's probably thinking what you're talking about, but if you ask international players, probably who are first team regulars, probably like Declan Rice, he does a lot of travelling, so he's going to be doing even more. So more fatigue. The one thing what I will say, I agree with what West Ham Online. He is a penalty taker, but he's also a free kick taker as well. He's scored a few free kicks, and he literally like what West Ham Online. He just smashes it. It's not placement. He just puts his foot through the ball and he scores. So that's another option to have. Do I think he's needed? Not particularly. What positions would I rather have? A centre forward and a left back, but there's still a long way to go. Maybe a left back is still coming in.
Yeah. I mean, just looking here, he seems like he's quite a versatile player. I mean, just looking at that on the right-hand side, the positions that he's played over his career. I mean, predominantly he's deployed as an attacking midfielder there. He's got 133 matches under his belt in that position. But he's also been deployed, to varying degrees. Right winger, left winger, centre forward, second striker, right midfield, left midfield, central midfield. So again, it's David Moyes going for a player that's not just pigeonholed as one particular position. He's going for a guy that's got an awful lot of versatility about him, and this seems to be a sort of like a common theme of David Moyes with a lot of players. He'll get through the door. I mean, your thoughts, Jazz?
I think talking about him not quite playing a lot in his previous spells. I mean, you got people like De Bruyne and Salah didn't quite make it the first time round, went somewhere else, matured a bit. So I don't really read into that much. Every transfer is a risk as well, so I don't really worry about that. I think he's deserved this move, the way he's performed in Russia. And when you play for Croatia regularly, there's something about you. They're a very hard-working team, quite similar to the way we play. And I think he'll bring a lot. I think it's good. We can't turn our noses up at any transfer and say we don't need him, we're not sure. I want anything over the line, and I think he'll be quality. And then hopefully we bring one or two other players in to kind of cover sort of centre mid and up front, perhaps. So for me, yeah, it will be good. Like if he's in Europa, then hopefully if his performances merit it, he can break into our first 11. And you saw on Saturday, Gacy, we had nothing on the bench at all.
Yeah.
And we played on Monday. Of course, the team was going to look a bit tired in the second half, and that's what happened in the end. And the way this player is quite explosive, full of invention, bright, sparky. And that's exactly what we needed on Palace, I think. He would have gone in there and picked up the ball, hopefully wanted it, and gone at them and opened them up, created spaces for other forwards, really. So, yeah, every transfer is a risk. And I'm quite happy to get this one over the line. From what I've seen last couple of days on him, I think it'll be good. I mean, we could discuss later in the show why we've left it so late and why does it suddenly look like we've got 60, 70 million. I haven't got a clue, mate. I haven't got a clue on that, but we can discuss that later on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just had a little look on, as you do. I wouldn't lie and say that I'm an expert on Nikola Vlasic's career. I briefly remember him rocking up at Everton, and obviously he left. And I'm not really a big expert on.
I think the reason why he got shoved out as well is because they spent 50 million on Sigurdsson, though.
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Gatesy, I as I was telling you the other day, I have two mates who are big Everton fans, and I think he played under Sam Allardyce at one point as well.
They changed managers, yeah.
And it was the defensive contribution thing again.
Take the weekend off.
Saying he doesn't defend enough, and I actually got told by one of them at the time that he was a technical player and he looked really good, but he didn't seem like an intelligent player. His positional play was all wrong. I just don't think he was ready for the Premier League at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've just sort of looking on Wikipedia. In his time at Moscow, he actually scored in a 1-0 win against the defending European champions, Real Madrid. And then in the return leg, it says here, he got an assist for the third goal in a 3-0 victory, which is actually Real Madrid's highest ever European home defeat. He was part of that team. So he's clearly a guy that's got a certain level of performance that he's capable of. I mean, you don't score against Real Madrid and provide an assist in another game against them in their record all-time defeat at the Bernabeu. If you're not a decent player, I would suggest West Ham online.
Yeah. I was looking at that yesterday actually, and I saw the goal. It was from the right side of outside the penalty box, and he curled it in. But I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he get 3 Champions League goals in a specific season in 6 games or something like that?
I can check that out.
But yeah, I think he's produced in on a European stage, and obviously Moyes has looked at that. And when we know how much Moyes goes into researching his players, obviously Moyes sees something in this guy, and you just have to trust the opinion.
Yeah, he scored on the international level. Another thing, Gates, is at CSKA Moscow, a lot of the time in the league, teams sit back, so you have to open them up.
Yeah.
So, again, he knows how to unlock defences, I think, and be patient.
I think the one good thing about him is, from seeing him, like I said, I'm not saying I'm an expert, is I'm not saying he's going to start ahead of Benrahma, but he seems to be a little bit ahead of him, more like bulked up. Mm-hmm. Like, do you know what I mean? He's got a bit more upper body strength, which he can adjust to the Premier League. And I think when you see that, you see the likes of even Bowen. When Bowen first turned up, he was getting shrugged off the ball, and even Bowen this season looks a totally different player. So I don't know what they're feeding him or whatever, but they seem to be a lot more stronger.
And also, Croatians have done ever so well in our league over the years. So many players have done well in our league, really. So I hope that continues. Yeah.
If he's half the player of Modric, we've got a player.
I do worry a bit for Ben Rama with this deal. I think we need rotation. We can have so many games in Europe, fingers crossed, and a good run out in the Premier League. But I do worry the fact that Moyes doesn't openly speak that positively about Ben Rama on too many occasions. Yet he's so keen to get this Vlasic deal over the line. The only encouraging thing for me is at the weekend, both Fornals and Bowen came off and Ben Rama stayed on. So hopefully he's warming to him a little bit.
No, he did say a few words in the press conference, to be fair. He did say that it took him time to settle. And then he also said that when he joined us, he was an individual player, not a team player. Yeah. And he wanted to do too many tricks and lose the ball. But as we can see, even one of the goals Gatesy, so impressed that on the Monday night game on Saturday, often in the past, Antonio would have just gone for a shot and we would have lost. But what our players are doing, they're looking up. And instead of actually going for the shot, they're passing to a player in a better position.
Yeah.
And I love those type of goals. I think so much intelligence we've shown this season already.
Yeah, and I've just checked out for you West Ham online. Yes, he did indeed score 3 goals in 6 Champions League appearances. So yeah, very, very tidy figures as far as that was concerned.
Not a great team for that sort of level.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair to say that CSKA Moscow are one of the heavy hitters in Russian league football, but Champions League, not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Are they in the Champions League now, or are they in Europa League?
I don't remember him. I don't remember seeing him in the Europa League draw. So in Champions League.
Because that's surprising, really, if you think about if he's moving to us, if he's got Champions League football on the horizon.
But I think he just knows they're a bit crap in that competition.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Probably money as well.
Yeah.
Bit prestige, whatever. Before we get on to the Jesse Lingard chat, I'm just going to have a little scroll through the live chat content for you guys to get your teeth into. So Luke, West Ham, the Free Hammers, and any of you that are watching, if you are looking at this and thinking, who the hell's that? Shame on you. Shame on you. Rectify that error immediately. Put it in the search bar, West Ham, the Free Hammers. Click subscribe. You won't go far wrong. There you go, Luke. I'll look after you, mate. Jazz, 2 domestic loans left to go for. Who would you go for?
I'll go for Loftus-Cheek and
I'm putting you on the spot, aren't I?
Because I don't know how this Lingard deal is going to be constructed.
There's just been an update on it, lads. Lingard, just
go for it. Breaking news.
West Ham remain hopeful they could still strike another deal with Manchester United for Jesse Lingard after fresh discussions on Sunday evening.
You've heard it here first, people. You've heard it here first.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Got to put it at the bottom, Gatesy. Got to put it at the bottom.
I'll make up a banner just for you. There you go. Go on.
I think Lingard's going to be the other funny loan deal structured in a really weird way.
What do you reckon? We'll buy him in January?
Yeah. And then by then they'll get Yarmolenko out the club or someone else.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Could you see
now, Milesy?
Yeah. Could you see Yarmolenko going to CSKA?
Yeah.
Depends.
You say that, but he's Ukrainian, isn't he? I'm not sure Ukrainians and Russians are too keen on one another at the minute.
Yeah. But he's got a wonderful left foot, as he's proven on Saturday.
Oh, God,
if that's not the striking prowess you want, then
I think he'll do all right in Europa League. I'm just going to say it here. I'm not his biggest fan, but for how slow the game is in the Europa League, if he gets time to shoot, he will score goals.
Yeah.
They're not in the Champions League, CSKA Moscow. I can't see their name.
Oh, okay. They must be in the
conference. They were in the Europa League either.
Right.
Maybe they just failed in quali. I don't know.
Yeah, you got Zenit St. Petersburg, and then you've got the other one. What's the other team called?
What, Spartak Moscow?
No, actually, there's only one.
Big boy. What's
on West Ham Online. 2 domestic loans. Who would you be looking for?
Obviously Lingard. I think what could happen with Lingard is Man United will extend his contract by a year, then we'll get him on loan with an obligation. Maybe something like that, just so Man United get a bit of money.
Okay.
and Sullivan doesn't have to pay up straight away. So Lingard, I would say Maitland-Niles, because I've heard Everton are in with a loan with obligation to get in this morning, actually. So I'd like us to hijack that deal because I feel like he can play in numerous positions.
Would you have liked Williams for Man United on loan, the one Norwich have taken as a
I
CDM type?
I wouldn't have minded him, but I don't feel like
Mm.
he's usually at left back, and I don't feel like he's much better than Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
So probably not. But yeah, for me it would be Lingard and Maitland-Niles.
Okay. You're doing an impression of a spinning top there, Milesy.
Yeah, I'm thinking. It's my thinking. It's my thinking.
That's your thinking sort of mode, is it?
My two is the player I said we should be going in for at the time. I can see us getting Emerson on loan. I literally can.
Okay.
It's not featured for Chelsea this year, and I hope we can get something over the line. Left back, obviously left midfield as the thingy, and I know Moyes doesn't fancy Origi no more. He sort of, I've heard a load of rumours that he doesn't think he is good enough, and everyone's probably going to think I'm crazy. I said this off air. I can see us getting Martial on loan. I honestly can.
I honestly
can see that come. I can see it happening. He's down the pecking order. When he come on yesterday, he didn't seem. Well, I know it may seem he didn't seem interested. I don't know whether his just mind's elsewhere, and I'll give him the opportunity to come to the London Stadium. What about you? What about you, boys? Do you reckon?
You know Martial. You know I'm a big fan of his, so you know my answer.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I feel like if we got offered him on loan, I'd take it. Could I quickly say?
Yeah.
I've seen Salomon Rondon could be up for a loan with obligation to buy. Obviously, he done well at Newcastle. Now he's in China. Would you take that, or do you think he's a bit?
I'd rather Arnie if it was available. No, Rondon not for me. No, he don't.
Yeah,
fit.
would he fit into our style of play?
I feel like personally he'd be fine as a backup.
Yeah, he'd probably be a game. Sort of like if Plan A wasn't working, obviously Rondon I think would be Plan B because I just see him as a completely different type of spearhead to what Michail Antonio is.
Yeah, I just feel like we might need that at times because I thought, for example, in the Everton game at the end of last season, it's all good having players like Antonio and Lingard and things like that. But that game, he was just spamming crosses, and Rondon is a specialist in the air. So I feel like at times it would be nice to have that option. Yeah,
fair enough.
Martial's just drifted through his life in reverse gear. I don't know if you can wake him up. I don't want another Anderson scenario again. But
got a World Cup not too far away.
He's such a good player, but he just needs to wake up a bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
As a manager, you might think, "Oh, that's going to be hard work waking him up," but he's going to require a lot of hard work, man management, coaching, and then he's got all the tools to be one of the best players in the league, no doubt. Yeah.
Okay, got this question from Clayton. We'll send this to Milesy first off. Likelihood of bringing a striker in if 100 is an absolute racing certainty and 0 is no chance at all. Where on that scale do you rate the likelihood of bringing a striker in?
90%.
Okay.
I think Seymour or Martial.
You heard it here first. West Ham online?
Striker, I'll go 40-60, 40 being that we get a striker. I don't think it's going to happen personally. I feel like we get Vlasic and possibly Lingard, and Moyes will be fine with that. I just don't think we'll get a striker, and I've heard that Seymour might be going to Brighton for 10 million.
Hey?
Wow.
Oh.
Who's that, sorry?
Abdullah Seymour might be going Brighton. I saw that all over Twitter last night. But I've heard that apparently he's had some attitude problems lately at Slavia. I don't know how true that is, but I saw that a few times when I was reading the reports on Brighton last night. So, yeah, I don't know. But I personally think we won't get a striker.
Jazz?
Well, thinking about David Moyes is a bit of a trick question because if we bring in Vlasic, he'll say that is a striker and Lingard is a striker. So if we bring both of them in, then that is your strikers as far as David's concerned, I'm afraid. And even if Vlasic looks like it's over the line, hopefully, he'll say that's my striker. So apart from Vlasic and Lingard, I can't see us bringing a true striker. I can't see us bringing anyone in. It's going to be one or both of them, and that's it as far as I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if Vlasic and Lingard come through the door, I've got a funny feeling that will be it.
Even
That's
Vlasic
my
on his
opinion.
own, that'd be enough for David. I think he's not going to. If Lingard doesn't
That's
come in,
worrying,
then...
though, Jazz. Isn't it?
Yeah, I
That's
know.
worrying.
Just real quick, Mr. Walsh, just to answer your one. Of course not, because that would be tapping up. So that's not allowed. So I'm sure it never happened.
It probably happened with Man United's blessing.
yeah.
David doesn't do things like that. It would have been with Man
Yeah,
United's
no,
blessing.
I'm sure it never happened.
No,
Although,
to be
I
heard-
heard
I,
a story that the apartment in Stratford that Lingard was living in when he was on loan. I've heard that he's still renting it. That's the story
No,
I've
but
heard. And
no,
obviously,
no,
it's
but
in the same
Gatesy,
block as.
I was speaking yesterday. I was on a live yesterday. The day's bullshit. The day's banter. Sorry.
Now.
And I said about, do you reckon Lingard and Moyes had this meeting? And he said, no, it's tapping up. X is unreliable. So it depends.
Sorry, excuse me. Stop right there. X is unreliable.
Yeah, he said he doesn't.
Seriously?
What X says.
No, X is good. X is top lad.
Wow. Well, I distance myself from that statement. I say
Yeah.
that straight away. X is, from where I'm sitting,
Yeah.
X is very reliable.
Yeah.
Now, if someone else has an alternate opinion, do you know what? That's fine. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe they're right.
But with regards to the talking, like you said, yeah, like what we just said, that the talks have happened. We don't know what's gone on. Like we don't know. Like you said, we could have spoke to Man United on Saturday and went, we want to speak to the player first and see if that's keen. If they're happy to do that, that's not tapping up, is it? Because
hang on.
Yeah.
Apparently, Emerson's gone to Leon.
Is it?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
Wow.
So I'm just going through because obviously we've been
Wow.
chatting and there's been a load of stuff coming in. So I'm
that
just
is a
clicking
shame.
away through it.
I think getting a loan 1 year, whatever, out of Lingard's a very smart move, and not committing 20, 25 million to someone where he might peak at 29, I think. So I'm just in my mind, God, can he still play like that last year? Very, very hard to match that standard he set himself. I think it'd be a smart move to get 1 more year out of him and then move on to someone else, I think. Yeah.
Just to answer Alex's question there, my information is it's 15% of a sell-on value. So whatever CSKA get from us, 15% of it ends up at Goodison. So there you go. Randy, before we get back, we could do this one before we get onto Lingard. Jazz, favourite pizza topping?
Probably pepperoni, mate. Yeah.
Pepperoni.
Nice and boring. Yeah. I usually have the meat piece with everything chucked in there, but yeah. Something along those lines.
How about yourself, West Ham Online? Your favourite pizza topping?
Nothing.
Food had to pop up at some point, didn't it?
Margarita. I just like margarita. I don't like any of the toppings.
Ooh.
You sound like a kid, 4 years old.
I've tried it all. I hate pepperoni. I don't know what it is. I just hate pepperoni so much.
Actually,
no.
I don't know if you've tried wood-fired pizzas like that place on Saturday. Oh, that's another ball game. Wood-fired pizzas are really nice. Totally different. Yeah, totally
Don't think I've ever partaken. I'll go and have to try it out.
Yeah.
I've got a mate of mine. He's got one. He keeps sort of like putting photographs on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and it's like it actually does look the business, but
yeah, it's different flavour. Yeah.
Milesy, your favourite pizza topping?
Mine's called the meaty one from Pizza Hut, which has pepperoni, spicy pork, seasoned minced beef, smoked bacon and chicken, and I get extra cheese on the top.
You have that. Your diet's gone out the window.
Yeah. I'm into stuffed crust. I always have to have stuffed crust.
Oh no, that's ridiculous. That after like 3 slices, I'm bloated.
I like a bit of cheese though. It's very tempting.
But not my local pizza place. My local like kebab place. They do pizzas as well. I do have a doner pizza every now and again.
Yeah, I was about to say kebab pizza's nice. Yeah.
Getting the best of both.
Dear, oh dear. Do you know what? I'm bored. There's so many. I'll go chicken supreme.
Yeah, that's
Chicken
all right.
supreme.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Right. Okay. So the second player that we're going to discuss is. Hang on. Let me get rid of that. Hang on. We've done the breaking news one. So the other player we're going to discuss, and we've touched on him already. Not literally. Jesse Lingard. Now. The story is that obviously he was in the match day squad for Manchester United's game at Molineux yesterday. Didn't get any involvement. So he's played in 3 matches for Manchester United this season. 6 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still got in the England squad, but that's another conversation. They've obviously signed in the transfer window 2 players in his sort of position, Jadon Sancho and some bloke called Ronaldo. Not too sure I'm familiar with him. Jazz, number one, has Jesse Lingard got a future at Manchester United? Can we get him through the door? Should we get him through the door? Because obviously, I turned around last season and said I actually thought that signing Lingard, great though he was, did put a little bit of a stumbling block in the progression of a player that we paid £25 million for. Now, obviously, he started this season like a runaway train, but is this a player we should be going for?
I think we should be, because he fitted in so well with us, and it's a less risk of a transfer than some of the others. And yes, we should, and I think he will come. I don't know what type of deal it will be, and I think if you're the Manchester United board and you've spent a lot of money, you will encourage him to move on, because do you really want to tie him up to a really expensive 3, 4, 5-year deal with the money you've spent already? The thing with the managers is, okay, David Moyes thinks the money is his own the way he treats it. Some managers, like probably Solskjaer, doesn't care. So Solskjaer's selfish view is, I don't care. If I can have him, I don't care how much he's going to cost the club. But I think the amount of money they spent already and probably looking to get perhaps Haaland over the line next season, whatever, I think they do want him out the door, because it's not rocket science. He's not going to be irregular. And then do you want to commit a lot of money down the line for him? So I think he'll be a West Ham player, mate, one way or another.
Yeah, Jazz, just to interrupt, that's what sort of, I know you could say they were sort of closing out the game, but it was like 5 minutes to go yesterday. They brought Darlow on, who's meant to be leaving instead of Lingard. Like, do you know what I mean? To go and play right midfield. I don't know whether that was tactics or not, but you'd think you'd bring Lingard on, wouldn't you, or something like that instead of that? But it is what it is.
I think some managers are honest, like David. I think Solskjaer, all that crap he was talking about, I love him, I don't want him to move, and we knew it was all bullshit. And why would you play with a player's mind like that? Just tell him the way it is, and it's all crap, all summer wasted, and then, okay, hopefully we get it over the line early tomorrow or later on today. And I just don't like managers like that. We're not experts, and we all knew, looking from the outside, he ain't got a future at Man United. No way. But yeah, I think he's going to become our player, and I'll encourage that. And I think with him on the bench, or Vlasic on the bench as well, that's really good, isn't it? That's a good bench then. Already,
well, we was crying out for something from the bench on Saturday. I mean, it was 79 minutes when we made our first substitution, and that really was what showed up our lack of depth. Was sort of like in a game that, two wins out of 2, we're looking to try and put a London derby to bed against a team that we've obviously got ambitions of finishing above them. I don't say that with any disrespect meant to Palace, but to be honest, we shouldn't be sitting here saying that maybe we're going to finish below Palace. We should be looking to finish above them. Sorry, that's what we should be doing. And we needed options from the bench, because credit to Palace, they managed to find a way twice to come back from a goal behind and away from home, hostile crowd, blah blah blah. We needed to have something else. We needed to have something, because what was happening on the pitch in the second half, first half, great. Second half, for whatever reason, and I don't believe the stuff that was trotted out about the pitch. I think that's an excuse, quite frankly. We needed another option from the bench. We didn't have it. Signing Lingard, signing Vlasic, if both of them come in or one of them comes in, I just think gives us that little bit more options to bring on from the bench, which we don't have right now.
No. We'll talk about the game later. I don't really want to go into too much detail, but obviously we could have had someone who come onto the pitch. But with regards to Lingard, I believe it will get done. I could see it being like a Berbatov sort of situation. I think this will be done at like the 11th hour 11 p.m. tomorrow. I think it will just go. And say, for example, if it gets to 10 o'clock, like what you said, I think the loan deal will come in and we'll have to buy him in January. Either way, he's going to come in. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of his. I don't care what anyone says. A few people are saying, "Oh, because Ben Rama's turning up this season, we don't need him." I'm telling you, 100%.
Yeah,
I want Lingard in a West Ham shirt. And all this crap that Man United won't sell to a rival, that's a load of crap as well. They just want more money.
Marzi, are you surprised no other clubs come in for him? Because Leicester were very keen on Lingard.
I think it's his wages, Jazz.
Well, you say that. I was going to get onto that actually, because there's a story that I'm looking at here that says that it's Everton that are actually in for him. It says that it looks like Benitez is keen, despite the fact he's got Damari Gray and Andros Townsend in through the door at Goodison. It looks like they're preparing to get involved in getting him through the door. So I'll just fire this across to West Ham Online. Does this put a little bit of a spanner in the works, or do you think that the relationship that Lingard and Moyes and obviously the West Ham crowd have all sort of got in the last couple of months with each other, does that give us a little bit of a trump card?
Yeah, I think if we want Lingard, he'd much rather go to us than the BTEC side of Merseyside. Personally, I feel like the relationship he's got with Declan Rice is also a big factor. Mark Noble, the whole squad basically, he fitted in really well here. And I feel like if he can't get a run out of Man United, which he clearly can't. I mean, Dan James started ahead of him, and I wouldn't want Dan James at West Ham. So yeah, I feel like if we want Lingard and the deal is agreed with both us and Everton, he'd pick us over the BTEC side of Merseyside. So I don't think that's a real worry. I'm not a big fan of Everton anyway, as you know. But I feel like he would choose us, and I feel like it's a deal that we should try and get over the line, personally.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he just adds another bit of depth to the squad. You know what I mean? It's like which one of the attacking four would drop out to make, to sort of make a space for him? To be honest, right now, I think it might be a bit of a difficult question to answer that, because that front four at the minute for me is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
But at some point, whether it's an injury to Antonio, whether it's a dip in form for any of the four that occupy those spots at the minute, I don't know. But at some point, there'll be an opportunity. And don't forget, we've got European football, we've got domestic cups. There's an awful lot of football to be played. So, you can rotate, you can rest, keep things fresh. And as I say, that game on Saturday was crying out for someone to come from the bench. And the fact that, it got to the 79th minute before the first substitution was made, told you everything you needed to know. Our squad depth is as deep as a puddle.
But I think Moyes was doing that. I said that on my fan cam as well on West Ham Fan TV. Moyes is doing that to make a point. It's like, well, who can I bring
Possibly.
on? Who can I bring on? I'm not making excuses, but what Monday to Saturday, it is not ideal either. I know we've got to get used to Thursday, Sunday, or whatever. It's not ideal, but it just proves what we need. But we haven't really said it. I know we've done the preview. I know this is about Lingard, but we've not really had time to say it. I'm very glad Zuma's over the line. Finally, we got him out. I know it was a bit of uproar. I know we're talking about Lingard at the minute, but at least we've finally signed an outfield player, and I can still see 3 more players coming through the door.
Yeah, just on that comment there, Gary. Appreciate that you enjoy what we do here, and I'm really sorry to hear that you lost your brother on Saturday,
Gary.
mate. Condolences from all of us, mate.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, Lingard for me, no brainer. But I mean, like I say, I just, how likely? I mean, do you think it is? I mean, if we're paying the money for Vlasic, and like I say, I've heard in this thing 21 million. I mean, there was another one that said, and I don't know what the exchange rate is. What is 30 million euros in pounds sterling? But whatever,
24 million, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say it's somewhere in that range between sort of like 21 and 25 say 22 and a half, whatever. Where on earth is the money coming to get Lingard through the door? I mean, we've been told that, there's very little money of
25 and a half.
Yeah. Where's the money coming from, Jazz? Do you think both are going to happen?
Yeah, like I said, I think a Lingard deal will be a loan deal, I think. So we've spent... well, the Zuma figures are really high now, isn't it? Some said 23, and now it's gone up
nearer
to...
20. It's nearer 30, isn't it?
Yeah,
If you don't mind me asking, so this is apparently what happened. It was agreed with 24 and a half. Then it was all agreed. And then Sullivan went, no, we want a loan. And Chelsea went, fuck you, and then put £29 million.
All right. Because Spurs wanted him, but Chelsea don't do business with Spurs.
I personally think that I think that the price was the same. The whole thing. Then Sullivan done the loan. I personally think, I know what you're saying, Andy, but I think if Marina would have turned around and went, no, extra 5 million now, I think he would have walked away. I just can't see.
Do you reckon that's not including add-ons now? That's we cancelled the bonus and they went, yeah, you got to pay 29 and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. So, I think it was 25 including bonuses, but I think because we fucked him off, I think Chelsea just went, no, you got to pay 29 and there's no other additions, I think.
Yeah. But have you seen Chelsea don't look like they're getting Jules Koundé now? So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Too late for them to get a replacement, isn't it?
We took so long getting it over the line, didn't we?
This is one. This is from Potato Man. Samuel Luckhurst has just tweeted. No, I'm not familiar with the name Samuel Luckhurst. You'll have to forgive me.
He's off, I think he's off Manchester Evening News.
Yeah.
Okay. He tweeted that Man United are open to selling Lingard.
Yeah.
About time.
I feel like everyone knew that though, but
So how much do you reckon if we have to buy him this summer? How much do you reckon we'll have to pay?
What,
18
Lingard?
million.
Yeah, Lingard.
I think it'll be at 18 million.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be 20. I really don't. I think it'll be somewhere between 15 and 20, mate. Like I say, 17 and a half, something like that.
I think the problem, Gatesy, is that Everton, as an example, Everton will say, we'll give you 20 now, but Lingard doesn't want to go there. He wants to go West Ham, and we only want to loan him. That could be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look.
His battery's died.
Lookman
every time.
Lookman to Leicester.
I just saw that comment with regards to Lookman. He's having a fee's been agreed with for Leicester. He's going to Leicester.
Is he?
I'm like breaking news at the
I don't know if that's good enough for Leicester personally. I'm not. They really
I think he's a good player.
Do you feel like he's good enough to start for Leicester? I don't know if he is.
No, but Dennis Pratt's going to Juventus. Torino.
I was going to say, he's off to Serie A, isn't he? Fabio Carvalho, this one here that Gaz has just mentioned. A couple of weeks ago, I was like, who's this kid? And I've done a little bit more sort of like investigative work. And I've got to say, he's a player that I like the look of. I know Kent has been raving about this kid. Yeah.
He looks really good. He's scored some goals already in the Championship for Fulham, and everyone was expecting Harry Wilson to be their main man, but it looks to be Fabio Carvalho. So
we missed a trick with him.
Yeah,
Harry Wilson, 12 million's nothing for him. I think he's literally like for Bowen, but he can score free kicks, and I think that would have been a perfect replacement. Not replacement, you know what I mean? Someone else to bring on.
Another little string to the bow. DJ Osborne's, have you guys heard the rumour about the Pellegrini loan? Not Manuel Pellegrini, I stress.
Yeah, Luca.
No.
In case anyone's going, no! Recoiling in horror. Jazz, have you heard about this?
No.
West Ham Online?
I have the Juventus left back. I feel like it's a bit of a pointless one, to be honest. I don't think he's
31, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight
away you're thinking, no thanks.
I'm just like, get away.
What do you think about Sissoko joining Watford for $2.5 million?
That's
32 years old.
He's not a very good footballer, but
it's a good deal for Watford.
Yeah. Did you see yesterday he booted the ball at Nuno, but it went out for a throw and he sort of booted it at Nuno and hit Nuno in the head by accident.
That weren't by accident. That weren't by accident.
Accidentally on purpose.
People were saying Sissoko's accuracy is not that good. So surely it was an accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, like I said, we're going to get we're doing the review of the 2-2 game at 3:00 today. So if anyone's around for that for 3:00,
Yeah.
we'll
Absolutely.
do that. And we're going to do the banner after off air gates to come up with an idea. So remember, from 8 a.m. tomorrow, people, we are live from the Ball Pub,
and it's all in aid of Isla.
And if you don't want to donate, we'll put the table number what we're sitting at, and you can also buy me and Duke a drink if you want.
Yeah, I'll probably turn up around about 6 in the evening, something like that.
Oh yeah, can someone buy my roasty actually?
Yeah.
Thinking about, I might put that on my Instagram. Someone please buy my carvery tomorrow.
Dear, oh dear. Right, okay. Guys watching, usual thing, please do us a favor. Make sure you drop a like on the stream. It really does help the channel out. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so. Click that bell icon to be notified of any new content that we add to the channel. The banner at the bottom there is, like I say, this is essentially what we try to sort of help out. We like to obviously entertain, inform, have a bit of a laugh, but there is a serious thing behind it, and that's what it is. Young Isla's battling neuroblastoma. She needs the treatment. Her family need funds, so there's a Just Giving link there. If you can donate, great. If you can't, then all we ask you to do is that information on that banner is in the description below YouTube and Facebook. All we ask you to do is copy and paste it, put it on your social media platforms to try and get the message out there. This 6-year-old girl is fighting the fight of her life for her life, and the clock is ticking. And with every day that goes past, the odds are getting ever more stacked against her. So, guys, please, if you can't donate because times are tough, I get it. Just put it on your social media platforms. Little explanation as to what it's all about. And let's try and get this girl the treatment she needs. You know, we're West Ham fans, and if you watching this and not a West Ham fan here, you're just a football fan and you're just passing through. Do you know what? It doesn't bother me who you support. The point is, if you're a decent human being, if this can resonate with you, we just ask you to sort of, help us out. Simple as that. Anything else to say, chaps, before we wrap it up?
No. I hope everyone enjoying their bank holiday Monday, and for the ones who are working, fair play to you, and happy Monday.
Brilliant. Okay, Jazz, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, David James could be allowed to leave on loan. Man United.
Don't. Daniel James.
Yeah, Daniel James.
I know what you meant.
Miles' favourite. Miles, he loves him.
I do love it. I think it would be a great player.
Good player. Yeah, decent player.
Talking to players, did you see Adama yesterday? Fuck me. I thought Antonio was big, but he was. Did you see him? He was just.
And he doesn't work out, apparently.
Yeah, what a lie.
He's on something.
Yeah, I've got to quickly say regarding Dan James, you two might love him, but this is where it's good to have a different opinion, and we all do it respectfully here. I think he's absolutely crap, that guy. Like, he runs down the line. I feel like he's just pace and that's it. He just runs down the line, hits a hopeful ball into nobody. Do you
think it's his in-game awareness that's lacking a little bit? Listen, I'd agree with you on that. I don't agree that he's crap as a result. I just think he just needs to get his head up a bit more.
Yeah, but I think our coaching staff could adjust his game.
Yeah, that is a good point. I think the coaching at Man United is all. I don't know if you saw yesterday their tactics. My God, literally like 4 up front, Pogba launching it to nobody. Ollie is a shocking manager. He is.
I think the pundits had ripped him up, didn't they? All of them, yeah.
Oh God, Gaza, what are you doing to me?
I know.
He's probably right though.
Yeah, I heard he's going to be starring in Mean Machine 2, Mindy.
Yeah, at least he's down here. Have a decent five-a-side team down there.
Adam Johnson on one wing, Benjamin Mendy on the other.
Sigurdsson in the middle.
Yeah. Anyway,
who's a goalkeeper?
Yeah, who's in goal? Don't know. I don't know. Who's in goal?
The chef in the canteen.
we can discuss this one off air, and we'll come back to it on our pre-match, which we're going to do 3 o'clock. Yes,
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to do
when you're eating your early dinner. Come and join us for a chat.
Yeah, tune back in 3 o'clock on the channel. We're going to be discussing the aftermath of the Palace game. Obviously, we normally do it the day after, but other things got in the way yesterday. I was in Pinfest. I was playing pinball machines all day.
Really?
Sorry. Yeah. And you know what? I came home and I seriously I'm looking around for space to put a pinball machine. Oops. Thanks, Gonzo.
Got to build the man cave first.
Yeah, thanks, Gonzo. Look what you've started. Anyway, guys, appreciate your time as ever. Milesy, what are we, my friend?
We are fucking massive.
Come on, you irons.
Buzz.
See you at 3 o'clock, guys.